matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this. Always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big game. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. Cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go.
To throw on 3rd down. Rollins. It's brought in by Dodson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The first down carry here for Johnson. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Looking to throw on second down. Rollins. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for a Nunwa there. Third down here.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run it with Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Well, the Cardinals bring pressure and they get home. It's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. An early special teams wake-up call there, their first drive, and they have the punt blocked.
And obviously they were giving the ball up, but that's not the way it's supposed to conclude. That ball's supposed to be downfield, better field position for your defense to work off of. Instead, you've given up a momentum play, and now you've got the other side excited.
Throwing on 1st down, Rollins. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Johnson jostles free. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Tyler Kroft, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead.
Boy, Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes the score 7-0. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag has to come out.
This is caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep. And got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Wide open receiver, complete. It'll be first and goal when we come back. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. From the shotgun, Wilson flushed out right. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Now for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. To get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keep
carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Completes it right. Completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Tech McKinley in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Being chased out left. He's going to air this out into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking on the midfield logo. Nice move at the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Bust through the tackle. Oh, refusing to go down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Los Angeles. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Jared Goff with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to throw. Rollins. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start with a good one in Southern California. Green Bay in town to take on Los Angeles in the NFC. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. James White, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Penny, the first down carry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast, second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake. Rollins. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it, that despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course,
this is caught inside the 15. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 65 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Wilson on the move to his left. His throw at about the 5. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But
David Johnson on his way. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and we are tied at 21. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be fielded at the 8. Twisting away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Powerful running. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Carson. Able to spin free. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. They go play action now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. John Simon able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? It also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Johnson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that is incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And they'll go on the ground. A second time. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now running right through it. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. They run again with Carson. All the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. Set him back 5. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. A little bit of redemption after he missed 2 field goals earlier. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.